Uh, if you willfully conceal the commission of a felony federal offense, yes. Mhm. Well, the way I see it, right, you have willfully concealed it. You are intentionally covering up a felony offense. Now, this driver's license where you covered up, yes. See, nobody has talked to me about the changing of the information on my driver's license, right? And it was used to issue multiple warrants for my arrest. It's a felony federal offense, yes, that you are willfully concealing from having prosecuted, yes. Now, I gave you a copy of this, right, because these biological parents, Sandra Taylor, yes, they committed the falsification of a marriage license and application certificate. Yeah. But nobody's talked to me about prosecuting my mother. Now, there is a considerable amount of liability, yes, for concealing federal offenses. Yeah. And I'm wanting Sandra Lee Budnick to be prosecuted because of the use of my name for the duration of the time that she was in that marriage. Yes, and then her custodial interference in what is my family. Pooh. Now there's this woman, Marilyn Van Proyen, and my Susan Bowers, my biological sister. Yes. I want the harassing, as in hate crime, and demeaning picture removed because I think Marilyn is beautiful and I want to speak to her. Yes. Now, this is an actual hate crime, Class C felony. Yes, it is. And it's a federal offense. Yes. And you decide to let Mike preach on Sunday because you're concealing, misprisioning federal offenses. Yes. Now, this woman is not Marilyn Van Proyen. Yes. He does not receive moral support from Susan Bowers. Yes. It is not his wife. And that quite possibly is not the adopted daughter from Haiti. Now, it's possible, yes, that there could be multiple felony federal offenses. Considering the number of documents that the court sent, yes, to that address, 1023 Kitchen Dick Road, and then Mike's involvement in the falsification of my state issued identification, yes, and the number of times that I have maliciously been prosecuted, yes, and the malicious harassment, yes, that happens to be a Class C felony in the state of Washington, yes. Now, I'm wanting you to no longer conceal any felonies. um, the links to the 417 war crimes video, yeah, it's right there. The link does work. I tried it myself, and that drive is full of videos. Yes. And then the 7777 drive, the treason folder, yeah, has some documents in it. Pope. And then the 7777 drive, treason videos, yeah. I put this morning 17 videos in there. Ouch. So if you need a link to the drives that have all the evidence, it was in the video and in the email, right? And I put that email in the 777, yeah, war crimes folder. I did delete some emails from my Gmail account so that I still have a gigabyte of available evidence to put in there. Poop. Now, this idea of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, yes. Why don't you give me the employment applications for every employee? Yes. And then I'd like to know, was it Equifax or Experian? Because I found it very interesting. We as a nation have more debt today, yes, than we did during the credit crisis when it first began, during that real estate boom of the liar loans. Yeah. And whenever I see the American population taking on a considerable amount of debt because of the increase of the equity in their stock market portfolios, the rising home prices, I just want to make sure we're not going to make the same mistake twice. Yes, where we were in a credit crisis because everybody thought their home was an ATM. Yes. I myself lost my house to foreclosure in 2009. A lot of Americans forget about these things that took place 10 years ago. Well, I'm not one to make the same mistake twice. Yes. See, it's an old adage. Yes. Fool me once, ooch, that's my fault. Fool me twice, and I'm the fool. Now, I don't like making the same mistake twice. Yes. Household debt and credit development in the first quarter of 2019. Yeah. Aggregate household debt balances ticked up the first quarter, yes, in consecutive quarter, are now $993 billion higher than the previous quarter, or previous 2008 Q3 peak of $12.68 trillion. Mm-mm. Now, it seems like we're really borrowing because everything's going up. Home prices are going up, the stock market's going up, everything is going so good. Yes. But I do remember sitting there during the collapse, yes, watching the 10-year treasury every morning at 5:30 in the morning, yes, looking at it saying, "Ooh, what I'm seeing has never been seen before." Now, as an individual that's concerned about the New York Fed and their knowledge of what's going on, and knowing that you provide 40% of the liquidity of the nation, phew, you really print up a lot of those dollar notes, don't you? I'm just thinking that somebody's really pumping stuff up. Yes. That if it goes the wrong direction, we could all be in for a big surprise. Now, I know you call me a worrywart, but the truth of the matter is, when you go through one of these credit crises the first time, yeah, and you lose your house to foreclosure, yes, you lose your business, and eventually you end up moving to Guam, and you have all the various personal experiences, and you begin to look at, oh, look at we've exceeded this.